This is one of the few election promises of Donald Tusk that is being fulfilled. We will make concrete decisions in 100 days that will relieve this 19th century homework requirement. According to the current Polish Education Ministry's idea, teachers will not be allowed to give homework to children in grades 1 to 3. In grades 4 to 8, homework can be given, but it will not be mandatory. The teacher will not be allowed to grade this work either. Will the abolition of homework make children smarter? Yes or no? Yes. Maybe ban learning altogether, because why learn? Then children will be smarter. Tell me, please, which student will do homework without receiving a grade for it? This means that there will be no homework at all. So what then? Students will prepare for classes at school and read their required readings for the year only in class? This is complete rubbish. It doesn't change anything, except that it brings chaos to teaching and brings chaos to teachers who will now be under pressure whether to give homework out or not, whether to require it or not. And if they won't require it, then maybe they won't be pressured by, I don't know, the superintendents? The former Polish head of the Education Ministry is warning people. You know very well that there is such a psychological reaction. If I don't have an evaluation over my head that I will get a bad grade, for example, I don't particularly try harder. No. How is it not? Stress is an element that motivates us. But is stress supposed to come from getting brutal feedback? Many experts present the brutal truth from Minister Nowacka about homework. Thanks to homework, the students learn discipline, self-organization, and learn how to gain knowledge on their own. Please note that we live in a world where we have to learn on our own. No one taught me in school how to use a cell phone, for example. However, these arguments are not taken into account by the current government. Do you know how long it took me yesterday to write a dissertation on the fact that Wokulski was a positivist hero? I don't know. Maybe it took you an hour? No, minutes. Through the use of artificial intelligence? Yes, exactly. I typed in a prompt and received a beautifully written essay. However, some things simply have to be learned, and no artificial intelligence will do it for the student. Polish people who mostly do not support the idea of Tusk's coalition realize this. Meanwhile, Education Minister Barbara Nowacka has other arguments to abolish homework. Children who receive good grades by doing their homework are usually children whose parents either can afford tutoring or can afford to give up their own time to learn with their children. One of the reasons for the most common conflicts at home between children and students is the issue of homework. This is the problem with the left, that the left, seeing social differences and their consequences, often sees real problems or real challenges, but the solutions that the left gives often lead to much worse consequences. In our opinion, this policy pursued by the leftist minister will lead to a deepening of these differences. There are also differences in what is being announced and what the reality is. In the first 100 days, every Polish teacher will get a raise to the base salary by a minimum of 1,500 zloty, which means a 30% raise for all teachers. They will get a raise, but to the average salary, not to the base salary. They withdrew from those 1,500 zloty to the base salary and gave a few hundred zloty less. Let's recall that anyway, these increases of 30% to average salaries were mostly earned by us. We were the ones who increased the educational subsidy by 12 billion zloty. As reported, teachers are unlikely to get raises from March, as it was promised. These salary increases for teachers will not come as we assumed from March with compensation from January. It actually might not happen until April, which we very much regret. There are unfortunately fears that after Minister Nowacka's reforms, there may only be regrets for Polish schools. Adrian Borecki, TV Republika.